Hello, I'm Stephen Calisi, and I'll be going over personal and creative writing benefits. Now, to start off, I'm going to be going over what assigned writing is and what creative writing is. Assigned writing is something often that professors will give you for a grade for a class, often like a history report or just a basic writing report. And oftentimes there's certain parameters you have to follow, like a word count or page count or certain type of writing style, like an MLA style format. And usually, unless it's one topic or a list of topics, they're usually predetermined. Unless you have a little bit of freedom to kind of pick your own topic or ask the professor if you can do a different topic and they have to approve it. Um, and most of the time students can be unmotivated to write these because it's not something that they're personally interested in. There may be a select few that are interested in it, but I'd like to say for the most part not a whole lot of students are interested in the writing that they're assigned. And now creative writing, the difference in creative writing is that it's almost completely different from assigned writing. It's your own topic that you got to choose, whether it be something very serious or very silly or something that's just a joke to you. Um, and the good part is that it's your own you let your imagination run wild. It's your own style, it's your own writing and your own style. It's how you want to write. Now, there's no limit to how long it can be, which is the good part of this. That it can be as short as you want it to be. You can do it as often as you want. I know professors would like you to write more often than not, but you can do it. But that's the good part with creative writing, with your own free writing. You can do whatever you want, however you want, and when often, however often you want. Now, I'm going to be going over three basics of the benefits of creative writing. I'd like to think these are the biggest three points of benefits. The first one being it makes you happier, and I'll be going over that in the next slide. Helps improve and maintain cognitive functions, and the final one is it can help with your mental health. Now, starting off how it makes you happier, it's seen as a type of therapy. Um, often people can just write down whatever they're feeling or just do something to get their mind off of stuff. It helps relieve stress, which will help improve your mood, which because when you relieve stress, you have like a weight lifted off your shoulders, so you can better look at things. You're more um, laid back or relaxed. You're more motivated to do stuff. um, Moving on to how it improves cognitive functions. um, One thing it does is it increases communication thinking skills. Now with this, it can help your critical thinking skills and your communication skills, just your everyday communication with people, your everyday interactions. Um, and by that, it's like you can get a when you get a wider vocabulary, you seem more interesting to people. You seem a lot smarter to people, and it's because you are getting smarter. Because this improves learning skills. You better pick up on things. You better think about things. Um, and just having a wider vocabulary will help you um, spice up your writing a little bit more. Um, it'll give your writing a bit more variety in how it sounds. Now, but because when you use like the same word over and over again, it gets a little redundant and people get a little bored by it. So the more vocabulary you use, as long as you use the vocabulary correctly, then it definitely makes the writing seem more interesting. It has a better rhythm to it. um and the long term stuff, it helps keep your mind sharp even as age goes on. Mainly because you're giving your brain work to do. It has to stay up to date with you. um and the more writing you do will keep your mind sharp. It'll keep it active, you could say. It will keep it. That's really what it is. It's giving your brain a reason to be active. It's giving it a reason to think. It's giving you a reason to use your imagination more often. And finally, how it helps with mental health. Now, expressive writing, which is the same thing as creative or personal writing, you can do it while you're doing hard times. You can write down any trauma or hard times you've been through, stuff that has just gotten you down. Um, it have in most cases it helps people feel better because they feel like they've got a little bit of closure. I'd like to say, I think that's the word I'm looking for, is a little bit of closure. Um, and they have a better positive attitude. It doesn't always work with everyone. Some people don't feel a difference in it, but for the most part, most people really do see it as a benefit. Um, Again, it can help get your mind off of things. A really stressful day or a stressful week, life has you down. Just to sit down, write a little bit of something, just to let your imagination run wild or get loose, and really just disconnect from the world. It'll give you a chance to just sit back and relax. And afterwards, it'll help you see a lot clearer. You let your mind take a step back. It refreshes a little, and then you can finally see a little clearer. Now you can set your priorities straight, because stress often will cloud people's minds, and the more stress you have, the harder it is to think and prioritize things. So something like creative writing that's therapeutic, that can relieve stress. It'll help you see again a little clearer, and you'll be able to set your priorities straight to what's important, to what's least important, to what you want to do, to what you don't want to do. It really is something that can help with your overall mental status. I'd like to thank you for watching. I really hope you take this into consideration the next time you do any sort of writing, and I really hope you do some form of creative writing too, because I'd hope what I showed you today will give you a reason to start doing a little bit of creative writing.